Now, my column in today's News Limited papers seems to have struck a chord. Gone to hell, the Australia I know and love is better than this. Thank you for all your comments and your notes. Have a read in full if you can and let me know what you think. I've never subscribed to the belief in some circles that our country has gone to hell. A prouder Australian you will not find. Faults? Yep, of course, we've got a few, but in all the ways that really matter. I've always thought we are a nation that is true to its core values of freedom, democracy, looking after your mates, you know the ones. This week, that's changed. It might have just tipped me over the edge into thinking that maybe all those naysayers are right, and I derive no joy in that. Maybe we have gone completely to hell. The Australia I know and love would never let an ally down. In fact, we are renowned for doing the complete opposite. We've always punched well above our weight when it comes to fighting off those who wish to do us and our friends harm. Indeed, our Defence Force, though maybe small, fights with the kind of heart and courage most nations could only dream of. So this week we learned that a junior, essentially, has informed the Israeli ambassador that if a broader war breaks out with Hezbollah, then they cannot count on Australian support. Now, no country wants to be dragged into any war, whether we are directly impacted by it or not. But support for one's allies doesn't have to take the form of boots on the ground. For this government to declare it will not back an ally against an evil terrorist regime is, there's no other word for it, disgraceful. Strength, power and unity are all we've got against our enemies. They combined are our greatest deterrent. So whilst we may not be the biggest or boldest of the allied nations, we are a major player and rhetoric matters. Weakness will harm us far more than anything else. And recently, we've displayed that in spades, haven't we? How did a senator being paid by your and my taxes get away with wearing a dress emblazoned with the words "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free"? At the very best, hate speech, at the very worst, an incitement of terrorism. The call for the destruction of a free and democratic state. How did protesters climb onto Parliament House and hang the same violent slogan and others from the home of our Australian democracy? And how did they manage to also write this offensive trope onto the most sacred of places, our war memorials? How are we even having this conversation? I admit I'm losing hope. I really am. How can these people not understand? Terrorism is the complete opposite of everything we are meant to stand for. But it feels like everywhere I look these days, there are more and more Australians doing its bidding. If you truly care about innocent Palestinians, and every single person should, then condemn Hamas, condemn terrorism, call for the release of hostages. Use your voices and your freedom and your privilege to help end this horrific war against an enemy that hates life as much as we value it. Enough. Stop emboldening them. Stop being their mouthpiece. Stop allowing them to continue to cause every single death we have seen in the Middle East since October 7. The Australia I know and love is better than this. And those who share our values, i.e. Israel, deserve better than this. Our children and our allies deserve better than this. And all those in the Middle East deserve a negotiated, lawful peace, which will only come when we defeat evil, when we are all collectively better than this.